Greetings, fellow mythologists and lovers of ancient Greece. I am Heracles, the great hero of Greek mythology, and it is a truly humbling experience to be here in the year 2023, speaking to all of you. As you well know, my adventures and trials were many, and I am proud of the feats I accomplished during my time on Earth. My role in the Gigantomachy, the great battle between the gods and the giants, was one that I took very seriously. The giants threatened the very existence of the world, and it was my duty as a demigod to defend it. With the help of my friends and allies, including the gods of Olympus, I fought valiantly in the battle, slaying many of the giants and proving myself to be a true hero. And yet, it was not just my physical strength that allowed me to succeed in this battle. My determination, my courage, and my unwavering spirit were also crucial in securing our victory. I hope that my story and my legacy continue to inspire future generations to strive for greatness, to persevere in the face of adversity, and to always stand up for what is right. The lessons of the ancient myths, including my own story, remain just as relevant today as they were thousands of years ago. Thank you for allowing me to share my thoughts with you today. If you like this video, don't forget to upvote, comment, and subscribe to Greek Mythology Wiki. May the gods continue to bless you all.
In the early days of the Greek pantheon, Zeus was not yet the ruler of the gods. The first generation of gods was led by Ouranos, but he was overthrown by his son Cronos, who went on to father Zeus and the other Olympians. Despite Zeus' rise to power, different generations and factions of gods continued to compete for control of Mount Olympus. As Zeus consolidated his rule, the personification of the earth, Gaia, gave birth to a new set of gods, the giants, who were fathered by Uranus, the personification of the sky. According to some, the blood of Uranus have fallen onto Earth after he was castrated by his son Cronus, one of the Titans. This blood was said to have impregnated Gaia, resulting in the birth of the giants. The giants were truly awe-inspiring in their stature, towering over even the tallest of mountains and wielding immense strength. Unlike the other gods of Olympus, who were often portrayed as human-like in appearance, the giants were depicted as terrifying and monstrous beings. With shaggy hair hanging from their heads and chins, covered in dragon scales on their feet, they struck fear into the hearts of those who saw them. In ancient times, the gods were faced with a foretelling of their future. The oracle declared that the only way for the gods to defeat the monstrous giants was with the aid of a mortal. Heracles, the great demigod, was destined to be that mortal. However, Gaia, being the mother of the giants, sought to stop Heracles from lending his assistance to the gods. But Zeus, the king of the gods, had a clever plan. He swiftly blocked out the light of the sun, moon, and dawn, and sent Athena, the goddess of wisdom, to bring Heracles and her chariot to Mount Olympus. The most powerful giants were Porphyrion and Alcyoneus. Alcyoneus held the power of immortality as long as he fought on the land of his birth, Pallene, in Thrace. In some versions of Greek mythology, Alcyoneus and his accomplices stole the cattle of Helios, the sun god, and fled to the land of the Hyperboreans, beyond the reach of the gods. Zeus, the king of the gods, was outraged by the theft and sought to retrieve the cattle. He sent Heracles to retrieve the cattle, but Alcyoneus was immune to harm as long as he remained in his homeland. However, Heracles was able to trick Alcyoneus and drag him from his homeland, where he was able to defeat him. In other versions, when a group of giants challenged the gods and sought to prove their worth by overthrowing them, they took Zeus's thunderbolts in an attempt to use them against the gods. This act of theft was seen as a direct challenge to Zeus's authority, and was a major factor in the beginning of the Gigantomachy, a battle between the giants and the gods of Mount Olympus. When the giants declared war against the gods of Mount Olympus, Alcyoneus was met with resistance from a formidable foe. As he scaled the heights of Mount Olympus, he was confronted by the legendary hero Heracles. With expert aim, Heracles took aim with his bow and struck Alcyoneus with a single shot, causing the giant to fall unconscious. But the battle was far from over. According to the prophecy, Alcyoneus could only be killed if he was outside of his birthplace. And so, with great strength, Heracles dragged the giant far away, where he ultimately perished. This dramatic showdown marked a pivotal moment in the struggle between the gods and the giants, and solidified Heracles' place as one of the greatest heroes of all time. Meanwhile, Porphyrion made his way to the summit of Mount Olympus. With the goddess Hera trapped between the towering rocks and the steep cliff face, Porphyrion launched his attack. But Hera's cries for help were heard, and Zeus stepped in, unleashing his signature thunderbolt upon the giant. Porphyrion was momentarily stunned, but Heracles, fresh from his earlier triumph, quickly intervened with a deadly arrow shot. As the battle raged on, the gods and giants engaged in intense combat. The god of light, Apollo, took aim and struck one of the giants in the right eye, and Heracles followed suit, striking him in the left eye with a deadly shot from his bow. Meanwhile, the god of wine, Dionysos, swung his thesis, or staff, with deadly precision, felling one of the giants. The goddess of magic, Hecate, set another ablaze with a barrage of blazing torches, while the blacksmith god, Hephaestos, unleashed a barrage of white-hot metal, bringing down yet another giant. With each fallen giant, the gods inched closer to victory, cementing their place as the rulers of the ancient Greek pantheon. With the final clash between the gods and giants underway, the scene was one of utter chaos and destruction. The gods each demonstrated their prowess and unique abilities, with Athena capturing one giant and Poseidon using the island of Kos as a weapon against another. Even the Sisters of Fate, known for their role in determining the destiny of mortals, got in on the action, wielding clubs made of bronze. As the battle raged on, Zeus unleashed his thunderbolts to devastating effect, striking down the remaining giants, with Heracles delivering the final blows. The outcome was decisive, with the giants defeated and the gods emerging victorious. And through his bravery actions, Heracles became one of the most respected heroes in Greek mythology. He was remembered for centuries for his role in the Gigantomachy. Thanks for watching Greek Mythology Wiki. Please do like and subscribe to GM Wiki and press the bell icon to never miss new video updates.